time for Duel-93. But not only that, it is also the return of the jammed slime token deck from Duel-84. In that duel, the deck got, you could say, obliterated by a Karakuri OTK deck that topped YCS like just before I made that duel. Since then, I haven't really used the deck much. I've tried it a couple of times before recording this video to try and get a video out, but either the opponents quit or they just beat me and I never got a good hand. And honestly, this is not a really good starting hand for this deck, although Sakuretsu, Dark Bribe, it's okay. Token Stampede, that's useless without the Jam Slime token, so I would have preferred Dimensional Prison. And now I do get Wetlands, so I'm like, okay, I have Wetlands, I have Token Stampede, now just give me Jam Raiding Machine, and I'm set, because I have Dark Bribe to defend me. But, okay, we're gonna do this differently. We're just gonna need to defend, stall it out a bit. So I place Mirror Force expecting like a flip summon, and then a second monster, and then just destroy both, and then I play Dark Bribe. Then I'm like, you know, he may just attack with one monster, and I don't really have to be afraid of Heavy Storm or MSD, and if they do, then I have Dark Bribe for that, you know. Now, he doesn't really do much, so I just draw Upstart Goblin. I'm like, okay, thins my deck out a little more. I don't mind if he gains some life points as long as I get the cards that I need. Jam Slime token in the Gem Raiding Machine. Another Token Stampede. Look at the cards in my hand right now. 1 Wetlands, 2 Token Stampede. Later on in the duel, it's going to be 3 cards and 2 copies of each. Not Mirror Force though. It's a different one. Okay, now he flips on his Kaiba-Man and brings out Blue Eyes. I'm like, okay, this is where the fun starts. This actually happened in two duels before this, or 1 duel, where I just drew into loads of trap cards, and like 1 Upstart Goblin and 1 Wetlands, and that was it. And he rage quit because after 6 turns he still wasn't able to deal any damage, because I just stopped him with like Sakuretsu, Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison. Watch this. So, Blue Eyes was stopped by Sakuretsu Armor. I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do now? Call of the Haunted Blue Eyes back. I'm like, okay, I got Mirror Force, baby. I don't know why I'm talking this weird. Probably because I'm thinking about the Ebonics translator. And the Blue Eyes White Dragon is the Blue-Peeps Whitey Dragon. And I'll make the reference in the chat in the duel in just a moment, and he apparently hasn't watched that episode. But, yeah. Blue-Peeps Whitey Dragon is gonna come back, and come back, and come back. And look, I got a second Wetlands. Mirror Force. Bye-bye, Blue Eyes. So I'm like, okay, that's the 3rd time Blue Eyes was destroyed. 2 Sakuretsus. No, 1 Sakuretsu, 2 Mirror Force. This is far from everything that this Blue Eyes is going to meet. It's going to be a lot more destruction and leaving the field, because Blue Eyes White Dragon will not be dealing any damage this entire duel. Oh, look, it's Dimensional Prison. Ooh, fun. Let's see, he might want to special summon Blue Eyes again. If he does, I have Dimensional Prison for him. And I have Trap Hole for, well, whatever else he would want to bring out. Oh, I so have the new sale opening in my head. It's great. So many things they showed. That's definitely one of my next Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussions, just the openings and the endings, and I need to do it soon before too many episodes came out. Like either probably this week I'll still make it. Right, Trap Hole and Shining Angel to make sure it doesn't get the effect. It's probably there to just bring out Whitestone Legend, but mostly what's it, Kaiba-Man, I guess, because this is deck purely focused on Blue Eyes. I haven't really seen too much else. Hey, look, it's Blue Eyes. I'm like, I could use Dark Bribe, but no, I'm gonna keep Dark Bribe as safety for later when I get my Gem Slime token out, because I can still sub Blue Eyes with Dimensional Prison, and now I banish it, and now he can't revive it from the graveyard anymore. No Birthright, no Call of the Haunted, no Monster Reborn. Bye-bye! Alright. Let's see how long it will take until I actually get my Jam Raiding Machine. That's what I'm thinking. And here he's already thinking, well, and he'll tell about it in a moment as well, like, how long is it gonna take until you get a monster? Do you even have monsters in your deck? Yes! Extra deck. I don't actually have any monsters in my main deck. It's like, let's see, three smashings, I believe, three wetland. No, I believe three smashings, three wetlands, three breeding machines, two gold stars, and three upstarts, I think. So that's 15 spells and then 25 traps, I think, but I'm not exactly certain. I'll have to check. If there's no annotation on the screen right now and you're still interested to know, then just tell me in the comments and then I'll look it up for you and post it. Now here he comes with White Dragon Ritual. I'm like, okay, you need to actually pay the cost for it to work, and he continues going and summons the Blue Eyes White Dragon from his deck, but I'm like, no, you actually need a cost. Then he does pay the cost, so I'm like, okay, Dark Bribe, because only now I can have the chance to chain it. So the summoned Paladin White Dragon goes back to his hand, Blue Eyes goes back in his deck, and then he draws a card. Instead of returning Blue Eyes first, he draws a card first, which isn't allowed since the Blue Eyes should have still been in the deck, and he has the chance of drawing into the Blue Eyes. Now, I don't know if he has another Blue Eyes or not, but the chances are different. And I don't know if he has 2 or 3 Blue Eyes, but whichever it is, he should resolve the things in proper order, and Blue Eyes was still in the deck when he was supposed to draw the card, so the drawn card goes back, Blue Eyes goes back, shuffle, and drawn. And Drycleaner123 just cooperated with that, and that's very nice. So I know that he has a Paladin of White Dragon in his hand. I do not know the other cards, but I believe I did make him draw into something good. Oh, Advanced Ritual Art. I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. Dark Bribe. I haven't actually seen, like, with that he's obviously going to summon Paladin of White Dragon, but I haven't actually seen any level 4 or below normal monsters. Normal dragons. Why so mean? Because bad Blue Eyes. And with a look here. 2 wetlands, 2 token stampede, 3 smashing ground. I just decided to play 1 token stampede face down because I don't want to have to discard anything. Thinking about it later, it would have been safer as to place a wetlands face down on the field, because you can only have 1 wetlands active at one point anyway, and you can have multiple token stampedes active at the same time. So if he would have had MSD and used it, he would have then destroyed wetlands, and I wouldn't have lost any advantage. And with token stampede, that would have cost me 1,000 attack at some point. Once I finally get the jam slime tokens. Now here he plays his Paladin and White Dragon. He has his 3rd Paladin in his hand. He tributes Kyberman and White Stone. I'm like, okay. Now he does resolve it in the wrong order because he's supposed to summon first and then White Stone activates. But I'm like, okay, I don't have a chain. It doesn't really matter. So I'm not gonna bother telling him to do stuff. Blue Eyes on the field. Now he has 1 in his hand, 1 banished, and 1 on the field. And like, this is really sad. This is the first time that I noticed this immediately. This is the first time his Blue Eyes actually survived his turn. Because it was always like Dimensional Prison, Sakura Armor, Mirror Force. He survived his turn, but he can't attack due to Paladin's effect. He's not gonna survive until Drycleaner123's next turn. Smashing ground! Alright. And we know that he has 1 Blue Eyes in his hand due to White Stone. He has 1 in Engrave, 1 banished. That'll be important for a little later. Now I finally drew into the jam breeding machine, so I placed my 2nd token stampede for later, so I can actually activate it next turn. I'm hoping here that he doesn't summon Blue Eyes. If he has like another Kyberman, he is able to do that. We'll see if he does. He places a new face down card. Views the deck. I do not know why. This is actually illegal to just view your deck without a card effect that allows it. But I'm like, meh, fine. And at that point in the duel, I didn't actually notice that he looked into the deck. I thought he just misclicked on shuffle or something. But I'm like, meh, okay. He didn't really do anything much with it, so meh. And it's unrated too, although I didn't really think about that. Amazing force of 500 attack, you say, opponent? No! 17! Waha! Now here he has White Stone. It activates because it's a mandatory trigger and starts a chain link. But since he has a Blue Eyes in his hand, Crave, and Banish, and there's 3 cards max in the deck, there is no need to check. And I'm not allowed to check his deck either, because even though it's mandatory, and he has to add one to his hand from his deck, normally I'd be allowed to check his deck if there's any Blue Eyes in there. But because we are certain that none of them are in the deck, because one is banished, one is engraved, one is in his hand, I am not allowed to check his deck to confirm, because we already have the knowledge that confirms stuff. Now here he plays Birthright, summons back Blue Eyes. I'm like, no, your Blue Eyes is not going to survive this turn, although not the same way. I'm like, okay, damage step. And he knows his stuff. He knows how to duel. That's one thing, but he's not that advanced in certain rulings yet, as seems from this right now, that he knows really what the damage step is and what it means. But Drycleaner, I know you'll be watching this at some point. Just go in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki and then damage step, and just read about it. And if you have any further questions about it, PM me on YouTube. But DN will be the most helpful on the forums. Here I'm like Token Stampede like 3 times to overtake him. He's like, oh dang it, Solemn Judgment. I cannot change Token Stampede to Solemn Judgment. But then I'm like, wait a second, that was sub-step 1 of the damage step, like start of damage step. You can keep activating a chain until it's like before damage calculation. So I'm like, okay, before damage calculation, then I can build it in. 2700 attack. You okay with that? And he does not have a chain, so I'm like, I do have a chain. 3rd Token Stampede, power up from 500 to 3,700. Bye bye Blue Eyes, you didn't survive again. And look, I still have 8,000 life points after the... How many times did he summon Blue Eyes White Dragon and have it on his field? Not counting the time he had it on his field, which is illegal because I negated his ritual spell. Just rewatch the duel and just count how many times he summoned a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then tell me in the comments. And I still had 8,000 life points, and the jam tokens totally won with 3,700 attack. Last duel, which was Duel 84, totally didn't show, barely showed anything of what this deck can do. This definitely showed what this deck can do. Stall, destroy, destroy more, and power up the tokens, and boom, boom, boom. And that's how we do things. We just beat, with the little slime tokens, we just beat the Blue-Peeps Whitey Dragon. See you later.